good to see ya. I'm in my studio art and craft library this morning. I have just finished my morning pages and having a nice cup of tea. It's been a really nice start to the day. Yesterday was a day of chaos. I have a little 6-year-old and the day can just always be like, what is it going to be today? And he had a little splinter in his hand earlier this week, what I thought was a splinter. And then it became a very nasty sort of situation on his hand. And I think it was actually a little bite. So yesterday he had to have the day off and we went to the doctor and it was a whole thing, but we've sorted it out, whatever it was. And so he's off to school today. And that means that I can sort of have a normal working day. I also feel very good today because I went to a Pilates class. I have been trying to do a little bit more this year, stuff that isn't just work or life related. I can really get in my head if I don't do something active every day. And usually I try to go on a little afternoon walk, but I sort of experimented with this morning Pilates class and I don't usually like to get up early because I actually go to bed quite late. And I didn't know how beneficial it would be until I started doing it. It's been super helpful to be doing it with a friend because I feel like I can't just hit snooze because I know that he's coming to pick me up. So we've been starting the day like that. And this morning I went and it's so great. As much as when the alarm goes up, I'm like, no. When I get there and I finish the class, it goes so fast as well because I'm quite sleepy. And then I feel like for the rest of the day, I just reap the rewards of having a little bit of a clearer mind and knowing that I just did something for myself that is good for me and good for my mind. And actually I feel like it's making me a little bit more creatively productive as well, which is gonna sell the dream to me as well because that is my obsession, making stuff. And speaking of making stuff, today I'm going to be tackling the Maker Club. This is something that I've started for the month of February. This is so exciting to me and I want to say thank you so much if you're watching and you signed up this month. Thank you for your beautiful support here. Firstly, I just really love these boxes. They're so fun. And I found over the years that I will really go through these sort of periods of obsession with particular styles, and a lot of my work will be about embellishment and very heavy repetition of this embellishment. Like I've done a lot of work with pom-poms and melty beads and lots of kind of naive craft materials. And then last year, I guess trinkets and tiny toys and things like that really took hold within my practice because I did my melty bead show, which was all about taking this flat item and drilling holes in it and linking it together. I sort of discovered what you could do with the drill and realized that I could get on the tools and turn a lot of my little toys into charms, into embellishments, and create this swamping effect that I've used for many years now, but with the trinkets and toys. And so I've sort of started adorning my wearable items, my canvases and things like that in these embellishments. And look, the enthusiasm for trinkets has been high. So I wanted to make this Maker Club kind of mirror each one of these obsessions throughout the year that I just know will take hold. I already know what the next one is going to be just because I'm starting to get very obsessed with it. I can see, hey, Juno, come here. I appreciate you, but you don't need to. Thank you. I know. There's birdies out there. They're very upsetting. So yeah, I want each Maker Club to allow us to kind of make alongside each other. I found that in the past when, I've become obsessed with disco tiles or pom-poms or something like that, people sort of want to make alongside, and I absolutely love that. But I guess I'm really wanting to formalize that with this club, and I'm going to aim to do it bi-monthly. I didn't want to make it subscription because I don't want people to feel locked into anything. I just want you to be able to participate if you want to. And also it gives me a little bit more flexibility. I know that my projects can be quite unpredictable. So I just wanted to give myself a little bit of space to, extend the deadline if I need to. But my goal is to keep it bi-monthly and to allow us to make alongside each other. So this month's obsession and the last few months' obsession has been trinkets. Late last year, I made a dress for Zoe Foster Blake, and that dress was totally loaded with trinkets and charms. Since making that piece, the obsession has just continued. I've been affixing the toys to shoes and bags and all sorts of things. I made a mini dress for Zoe and I really want to make a longer one, and I just had someone going to Fashion Week in Melbourne who I made like a shift dress for, which I really loved as well. Again, each piece that I make, you kind of discover little tips and tricks along the way. So this first month is Trinket Enthusiast, and I will be packing the boxes and packs today. There's 3 levels. There's like the starter pack, there's level 2, and then there's fairy sized, because I'm also really into all these miniature things at the moment, and I can tell you guys are too. There's going to be a lot of packing because we have a lot of makers and trinket enthusiasts this month. So if you do want to join, I only have a few boxes left for level 2, and then level 1 is still chill, you can go for it. And then fairy size, I also only have a few left over. The fairy size is actually the most labor intensive because I have to individually cut everything really small. This one expires at the end of the month, and everything will be sent out on March 1st, and then the first one is done. So I'm going to do a bit of that today, and then also on my to-do list is, would you believe it, I literally have to burn some candles at both ends, because alongside this trinket obsession that's formed, I've also just been looking around at other things that maybe are a little bit mundane but very cute, and how I can transform them into charms as well. And I had a big box of birthday candles, some that had only been used once, and I was like, oh, these would make like the most awesome charms. And so I think it was like last year as well, I made a shirt out of some candle charms, and now I have another project coming up that I want to use these candle charms in, and so I'm kind of experimenting with some additional forms and things. So I will take you along. If you want to make any candle charms too, you can kind of see what the process is for that. And then I have a very important errand that I need to run, and I'll take you with me. I need to duck into New Farm because there is a muesli that I'm absolutely obsessed with. It is riddled with pecans. It is so delicious. And I think I'm going to go and get a yummy lunch and pick up my beloved muesli too before I come back, and then it'll be time to collect my kiddo and the day will basically be done. So let's get stuck into packing some of our maker club and then tackle our birthday candle charms. Birthday candle charm time. So to get started, I just take some standard birthday candles. I love the ones that have been used before. I just feel like they have some character and some memories attached. Then I'm going to use some little pin screws, and I'm going to pop these into the base of the candle. It's quite a simple method. I just use another candle to melt the end of the candle, and so much candle ending. And then I just pop in the pin screw into the base. You can try to kind of screw it in, but I find that if you melt the end effectively, it just slides right in. And then I just do this over and over again. If you try this out, you might find that you get different results depending on where you pop the base of the candle into the flame. After a while, I've started just popping it like maybe 5 centimeters above the actual flame, so that it just softens the wax instead of fully charring it. I kind of like this effect more, and it just looks a bit cleaner. So what I haven't filmed is the final step of this process, and that is actually just dipping the whole candle except for the loop of the pin screw into resin. And I do this just to seal the whole candle and I guess charmify it officially.
naturally. Obviously, wax is prone to snapping and breaking, and if you are going to use this as an adornment that you want to wear out or use en masse on a bag project or something like that, well then you kind of want it to be a little bit sturdier. So I will do that when I finish this process, and that will finish them off really nicely. I have some big dreams for my candle charms. I really want to make the ultimate party bag. I want to make a dress, but for now I've made this experimental pair of sunglasses. I'm just loving the process of using the charms to make something kind of standard into something a little bit more avant-garde and interesting. And I'm just going to keep exploring in this space. So alongside my sunglasses, I also couldn't resist. I just am so obsessed with the candles that I also had to make some stickers, and I just love them so much. So that's my final show and tell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back in the studio for chat soon.